Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another race here in our Z2R tournament. Today we have TheAlanHeffley versus Big Slamu. Joining me here in the comm booth, sorry, brain froze there, is the Countess as well as Victor Santa Fe. Without further ado, I will toss it over to them and get this race underway.
Yeah, good evening everyone. So yeah, we have a good match today between TheAlanHeffley and Big Slamu. I haven't been able to watch many of the matches, so I don't know what the previous scores in this tournament were. So how about you, the Countess? Have you been able to catch up with this tournament?
I've watched a couple of races. I haven't been watching the board for the other groups too closely. I can pull that up real quick. Looks like Alan is, I guess, 1-0 if you don't want to count the bye, and Big Slamu is 1-1. So they're competing for their second win to put them at, technically, 3 wins. So I guess actually whoever wins this, I think, is guaranteed a spot in the brackets, so that's an important one.
Oh. Yeah, so let's see how these guys fight for their lives in this group.
Yeah, so if anyone in chat's not aware of the tournament format, we're doing a round-robin format. This group only has 4 people in it. Most of the others have 5, so they all got a bye. But so if there's no ties, then the winners would be 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and the 4 and the 3 would move on, the 2 highest. I'm not sure how ties are resolved, though.
Yeah, the first time I watched the challenge page and I saw filler, I thought it was a guy. I thought it was a razor. So yeah, I got confused for a bit there, but yeah.
There's filler 1 and filler 2, and they didn't start off too well.
Yeah, they already lost all their matches.
Yeah, that was throwing me off when I was trying to count how many people scheduled races for the first round, because I knew it was like we were averaging more than 1 race per person. That's kind of throwing the volunteer schedule off. We weren't ready for such a big influx. And we're started. All right.
Yeah, at any moment we'll see the players start up. Do we know the flags that they shows?
I do not, actually.
Okay, we'll see if they get the candle or if they get mixed enemies. I guess those are the big 2 things about the.
It looks like it might be set 4 unless it's custom, because I see some larger enemies in the P-Bag Cave and they don't have a candle.
Yeah, nice. And thank you, Star, for the confirmation in chat.
Okay, groups 4. And we got Big Slamu with the Dragon Lord sprite and Alan with Zelda. I think that's what they've each been playing with so far in the tournament. So they're both kind of struggling to fight stuff in the P-Bag Cave. I had trouble in here in my seed too. I got game over like right at the start. So it was full of red diras and laggy stuff.
Yeah, but the good thing for these guys is that they're getting some levels out of it. At least
Yeah.
Slamu is.
Yeah, this isn't a bad cave to go to find early, because if you find some enemies in here that are worth a lot of XP, you can pin them against the wall and just hit them rapidly, and they won't even hit you with their attacks. So, okay, it was the magic jar is what was in there. It looks like Alan's already got Maze Island. Yeah, I see a hint on Alan's screen. I think Slamu might have gone in there already, but go west to find the boots in the King's Cross.
Yeah, that's a good hint, because lately in the 4.0 update, getting the boots early is kind of a big thing.
Yeah, it's happened to me in most of my early seeds. I think I remember when Digshake was programming the new biomes, he was noticing that boots kept showing up early because of how restricted some of the biomes are, but he didn't mind that because he thought boots were fun, so I think that might have also been what led to the flag that we're not using in this tournament, which disables boots from walking on all water. It actually sets some invisible paths in the water that you can walk across, which is kind of neat in some of the biomes, but probably annoying in the normal-looking ones like this.
Yeah, it's a very unpopular flag.
I imagine. The boots early in like an islands biome is awesome. So if you got that and you couldn't walk on all the water, it'd be a disappointment.
Yeah.
At a magic jar cave on Slamu, and Alan is in a palace here, 3 or 6, trying to kill a red knuckle, but only getting jars. The statues are programmed to only drop the one you don't need.
Yep.
Now let's see what this guy's worth. At 200, that's not bad. Slamu kind of getting bullied by the enemies in this P-Bag cave. This cave is rough with no candle and mix large small because there can be some enemies under that ceiling that are very difficult to kill. Especially like a red Dyra, sometimes you just have to turn around and come back with reflect or more health.
Yeah, I guess this and Medicine Cave are the caves that you sometimes have to leave for later.
Yeah. Alan's got a really laggy Medicine Cave here. Couple of moblins and a Guria, and all the bubbles too, and birds. Great, it's just everything.
Yeah, it doesn't look too nice.
Unfortunately, if you make it past this room, there's 3 more enemies in the next room, so you got to be ready for them. He killed most of the enemies in here on his second life, though. He's probably good. Slamu's heading up that way, so he may be in that cave shortly.
Yeah, let's hope for TheAlanHeffley that the second room is not that bad.
Is that a trophy? No, a hammer. Alright, those don't look anything alike, so... Hey, Slamu's jumping straight into the medicine cave. That full health, I haven't seen if he's died yet. But he didn't take a life refill on the palace. Ah, he is down a life. He's gonna go for it though. Alan's exploring the south. There's a hammer cave and he's got his hammer. He hasn't gone through this magic jar cave yet though. Oh, Slamu levels up right as he's dying, and he probably wanted that life level, but had to take the magic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they've both got their cross now.
Yeah, and there's a hammer blood cave in near to the beginning, if I watch correctly. So
well, Slamu picked up the boots. I don't think Alan's been over there yet. It's on the grass tile. Alan does not go in the boulder block cave. I guess it's fairly likely that it's a pass through to some area in the south, but I would have dipped in and checked it.
And the Countess, I'm being told that you're way earlier than the rest of us. So I don't know if you are watching directly on their streams or something.
Yeah, I didn't get the link to the thing. I'll look for it. Oh, this computer has a Discord channel group collapsed, but my other computer did not. That would be why I couldn't find that page.
So now Slamu going for some points in Palace 3 or 6, but he gets killed the first time.
And 200 points on a red knuckle, it's not a bad idea to kill 2 and get a level on something.
Yeah, especially this early. It is a very good idea. And with mixed enemies, yeah, you have to be careful with your levels. And the boulder was blocking a pass-through cave, the Parappa cave. So let's see where it leads TheAlanHeffley.
Slammy's still killing. Red Knuckles probably getting an attack level off this one. It's a nice Saria that just kind of borders a lake.
Yeah. So yeah, Big Slam taking quite some time here in Palace 3 or 6 to, I guess, to get an attack level. Yeah, he wants the 1,000 points for attack 4.
Ah. Yeah, that'll make palaces and stuff pretty easy to just bounce through.
Oh no, he got the life level. Okay, I was wrong. Interesting. So TheAlanHeffley in the town of Ruda to get the information about where the trophy is and some hints from the guys, hoping he gets some information. And in Palace 3 lies the trophy, which leads to the life spell, and go east to find the raft.
Yeah, that might be important. The raft isn't quite as required in this 4.0 as it was back in version 3 and earlier. Because now we've got the connection shuffler, so there's a decent chance that those Death Mountain caves are actually going to take you somewhere else. If they take you east and to the, Maze Island, then you may not need them at all. May not need the raft. Slammo gets his hammer.
Yeah, and TheAlanHeffley about to get his reflect spell, which is a required spell.
And he's actually running straight for the boulder. He may have seen everything over on the left, though. So he may jump straight through this, even though it's a pass-through. Red Diary only worth 70.
Yeah, that sucks, especially when you find out after a really close first fight on attack 1 and
Yeah.
only 70.
Alright, so he's coming down to join Alan in this area with all these towns and palaces. Alan finds the child. We don't know what spell that is yet, but he can get it.
Yeah, and Big Slamo about to get his shield spell, which is quite handy this early, especially with mixed enemies.
Well, looks like Alan found the East Continent. It's in an island biome now.
I believe this is Dead Mountain. I mean, yeah, this is Dead Mountain.
Yes, it is.
So you get confused a lot with because Dead Mountain tends to be way broader, way bigger than it was before. And sometimes it looks like the Eastern Continent.
Sometimes you hit east and you just see 3 caves and assume it's Death Mountain.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen a Death Mountain that's this islandy yet. Very hard to know where these caves are going to go in this kind of a biome, because even if they're connectors, they're so far apart from the thing they're connected to. It's hard to kind of eyeball where this cave's going to go or that one.
Yep.
So question in the chat, in the 4.0 version of the randomizer, the pass-through caves all in the game try to point toward their, the other side of the cave. So if you see this one on Alan's screen right now, right below him, those 2 caves are probably connected because they're straight across that mountain range from each other. They can be offset a little bit like that. But yeah, you find something like this with this river that has a ton of caves on the bottom and top, and it's hard to know which ones connect to which ones. If he wants to find Hammer Cave, he'll probably have to just start ducking in and out of every cave.
Yeah, and as you can see, he entered one that didn't lead anywhere, and that meant that it led somewhere else, or it was Hammer Cave. In this case, it led to the Eastern Continent. So he was in Darunia, and he wasn't interested because I don't know what the spell was, but he wasn't interested in Darunia, but he's entering Naburu, and he's about to get the spell out of there. And he just got a hint about the flute, but I missed the location of it.
Yeah, me too. I saw that it was flute, but flute is very unlikely to be required in 4.0 because with these flags, 3-Eye Rock has something random behind it, and it can be a palace, it can be a town, it can be a pass-through, it can just be a garbage, forest encounter. Usually it's just a garbage encounter. I think in the 20-some seeds I've practiced with, it was required once.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing we can conclude right now is that the RAF is not required unless it leads to a segmented part of the Eastern or Western continent that we haven't seen yet and has a palace or something like that in it, but there's a very low probability of that happening.
The heart out of Trophy Cave on Slamu's side. I wasn't paying much attention to where that was, but it looks like Alan doesn't have it. Oh, way off in that corner. I also have seen a couple of key drops, so it's an option for these guys to go into palaces without keys, but the logic won't force them to. Yeah. The magic key or fairy is typically required, one or the other, before the logic will force you to go into a palace. But I find most of the seeds in 4.0 you can find just everything you want anyway before you jump into a palace. It's not a very good idea to go into a palace without a ton of extra keys or fairy or magic key, because there just aren't very many keys in there anymore with the community rooms. And with the flag off, that gives you extra keys. These flags very much encourage you to do your overworld exploration first and then jump into palaces at the end. Slamu and Alan just popped into the same palace at the same time.
Yep. Big Slamu staying a little bit there to get his next level, and he gets it. Oh, he's gonna get the life spell.
Oh, interesting. So, town here on the island looks like it is Old Chitsudo. And thunder in its vanilla location. The palace in the middle of the lava on Alan's side, probably not the Valley of Death Palace. Ukitsudo as well. Fairy Town. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
Spell is probably what they need to be forced into palaces.
yeah, it looks like the required spells are showing up pretty easily for the guys. But yeah, they still have some things to worry about, including the glove.
Yeah, the glove's going to be the big one. They've got the child, so the other spell that's over here that we haven't seen yet, they can pick up. I didn't see which spell is in Mito though, so I'm not sure what the last spell is that they're going to find. But they need Reflect somewhere as well. Actually, they've got Reflect and Thunder, so yeah, Glove's all they really need to start doing palaces if they want. Magic Key would be a nice to have, but they've got 6 bars of health each, or magic each right now.
So I believe, yeah, we see a 3-eye rock, but we don't know what lies in the center of it. And we see a water tile right next to it that I believe TheAlanHeffley didn't see. And the orange Lysafos are not vulnerable, so that's kind of a pity because they tend to give you a lot of points. And yeah, we have a raft. I believe we've seen a raft tile on the southern part of the western continent, but I haven't seen another one, maybe.
Alan's up to 7 magic containers. I don't know where all those jars were in my seed.
Yeah, that happens.
Right. I didn't see what all the items were in New Casino. Looks like a pea bag out of the first one.
So yeah, sometimes when you go through the water in these islands, it makes you miss some things. For example, I believe TheAlanHeffley missed the water tile twice because he was using the water to skip encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Let's hope he finds it sometime. Yeah, and P1 in Valley of Death. Very, very short Valley of Death.
May as well jump in. Just hope you don't get glove blocked. But at this point, glove is fairly likely to be in a palace. Alright. So do you know in this community room palaces, do the palaces still have the same number of rooms as in the original game?
They have like 25% probability of having more or less than the original.
Fantastic.
So yeah, for example, in that case, Palace 2 can be bigger than Palace 5 sometimes.
I've had a lot of Palace 1, 2, and 3 that just felt way bigger than normal, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and TheAlanHeffley finding the boss of Palace 1.
Yep. See if he'll stick around and look for the item. May as well, if it, in case it's the glove. This is one of the shorter palaces. Can he get through the door? That annoys me a lot. I always forget that I need to keep magic for fairy when I'm fighting bosses. I think Alan's on his last life too, if I saw that pause correctly. And there's nothing behind the boss. One of the P4 dead end rooms.
Oh, and he needs to use fairy again.
Yeah, at least the gem filled him up. That's a pretty expensive fairy though, if that's all he's cast. He can only cast it once per life.
Yeah, if he finds the item, he's gonna need most probably to get magic somewhere, because if he's on his last life, he cannot access the item. Unless it is on a non-key required room. There are some of those in this update.
I mean, just paused and I missed it. I want to see what fairy costs at Magic 4, because 66 at Magic 3 is pretty hefty. I bet it dropped down at Magic 4. I missed it again.
Yeah, and TheAlanHeffley getting out of Palace 1. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. Slimu's gonna end with pretty high levels. Pretty sure he's gonna get another level before he kills the boss here.
Yeah, that's what they are betting on. Maybe getting a very, very tough Great Palace and having better levels can be a big advantage against your opponent.
Yeah. He's at 445 before placing a gem. And Alan's only at 334 after placing a gem. So that may slow Alan down in the later game. Yeah, especially since Slamu's now got Magic 5, and I'm sure that makes fairy cheaper.
Yeah, that can also mean some time saves for Big Slamu. So, for the guys in chat, where do you guys think the glove is? What could be the trolliest scenario in this one for the glove?
Well, for Alan, it'd be Palace 1, so I'm gonna about that one. I want to see it somewhere else. Oh, Palace 3 is my guess.
I believe we got a hint about Palace 3, that it had something, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe the flute? Yeah, I think it was a flute. Oh no,
Okay.
it wasn't the flute. No, it wasn't the flute. It was something that
yeah,
I remember
the
trophy.
Okay.
That led to the life spell. So yeah, no. Not very necessary, but sometimes with the kind of great palaces you get, sometimes the life spell is something you may need.
Yeah, I try not to pick up both shield and life, but in some of these 4.0 Great Palaces, I've been regretting it.
Yeah. So yeah, thankfully for TheAlanHeffley, the item in Palace 1 was a hard container.
Yep.
And TheAlanHeffley taking a glimpse at the water tile from another angle, so he didn't miss it. So Big Slamu picking up the upstep technique, and he has the kit, so he can get the dash spell in this one. So yeah, that's another thing. I don't know really how much time does the dash spell save you. You would think it is a lot, but sometimes I don't know. The magic cost of it can be way higher than what you want, especially in a seed that where you don't have the magic key.
Yeah, I assume it uses the same cost as fire, so until about Magic 5, it's pretty expensive. You're pretty much just using it in towns when you can just pick up a free magic refill on your way past.
Yeah, it is 13 points for Big Slamu, so if I were him, I would be using it everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's using it on the town of Miro. He's about to get his downstep technique.
It takes you about 12 or 13 seconds to walk across an entire screen, so if you cast dash, it cuts that in half. So every time he casts it, he's going to save like 6 seconds if it's not like a palace where he's running into enemies.
Yeah, so TheAlanHeffley picking up the flute, which gets him access to the Three-Eye Rock, which we don't know what that thing is hiding for the players. And Big Slamu in Maze Island, hoping to find the 2 items inside. While TheAlanHeffley getting his downstep technique.
I got a hint that there was a candle in here in my seed and elected to just not look for either item.
So Big Slamu just picks up the glove in Maze Island, so technically he is in go mode. And TheAlanHeffley is in the same place, so yeah, maybe this will be a tight race.
Yep, looking pretty similar right now. Biggest difference is probably their levels. Unless there's some map exploration if one of them hasn't seen a palace or something.
And the dash spell.
Yeah.
Which there's a very low probability of TheAlanHeffley going back for it.
Where was that at? Was that behind one of the spell items? I feel like there's more MOAs in the game now that we've got community rooms.
Yeah.
I also think I try to blame all of my problems on community rooms, though. Maybe I'm unfair to them. I don't think so, no. At least 2 rooms I saw today that I'd never seen before.
The only thing I really don't like about community rooms, besides some of them being really trolly, is that the possibility of getting gloveless seed is way lower than before. It was pretty low on the standard flaxseed before, but now it is impossible. And in Max Rando, it used to be a thing, and that you entered Great Palace without the glove. Now it is not anymore.
Yeah. I'm dying to cast Fairy. It's like I can complain about individual rooms a lot in community rooms, but really my biggest complaint would be just that you don't know which direction really to go in palaces anymore, and all the palaces are kind of the same as far as what items you would want to before you go in them. Because you don't know that only 2, 3, and 6 are likely to glove block you anymore. You don't know that the item is on the left in 1, 2, and 5, and right on the other 3. That's all just kind of a big question mark now. You just kind of lose that meta of treating different palaces differently, other than who's the boss in this palace.
Although I believe there's a flag that makes palaces that are glove blocked remain glove blocked, and palaces that are not glove blocked to not be so. But the thing is that as this is a new feature, we always turn it on for the palaces to be very random.
Yeah, looks like we have that checked. Blocked rooms can appear in any palace.
Yep.
But before that gave you more options, I think. Like, if you were missing the glove, then you would go into the palaces that are least likely to be glove locked. Though, unfortunately, one of those was P5, but that was part of the game.
Yeah, maybe next tournament we will probably turn off some of those features, because, well, we just know how they work, and sometimes we need something to feel a little bit new. So yeah, maybe we'll turn off some of those. For example, for this one, we turned off the vanilla biomes.
Yeah. We got a high HP Guma here, and Slamu's attack 4 and Alan's attack 3. So
yeah, thankfully for TheAlanHeffley, he's very good at the cheesy strats with Guma. I'm not good at all at those. I always have to fight Guma the right way. But yeah, TheAlanHeffley is very consistent in this fight with very low levels. So yeah, that's why he didn't hesitate to go in. And it's time to die for TheAlanHeffley.
Oh no. Slime was a couple of hits away and died.
Yeah.
Gaston Dash, though. I like it.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. The good thing is that it lets you escape the maze a little bit more safely. But yeah, getting to hit Guma without getting hit is a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're not used to fighting him with dash, I can see it being much more difficult. You're kind of sliding around a little bit. It's not just more speed. You still have to accelerate to get up to that speed, and you have to slow down from your high speed before you stop. Unless you I think if you crouch stab, you'll come to a sudden stop. Yeah, the timing's completely different.
TheAlanHeffley finding a red jar in the item room, and thankfully that allows him to go for the item. Although he's close to dying, so he needs to be careful.
Uma sits on the candle. That's gotta be painful.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe he's very close to Guma's room. And Big Slam will looking for round 2.
Watch out for the hammer, bro.
Yeah. I love how this game has a lot of like variations of Mario enemies, but like way darker. Like the sheep are like dead in this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Hammer Bros are like demons.
Alright, Alan's on Guma. Looks like he is cheesing him on the side of the screen. If Guma goes too far to the right, his mace will despawn and he just won't hit you with it.
Yeah, this is the TheAlanHeffley's special. He's very good at it, although I'm jinxing him.
Yeah, Guma keeps walking right back on the screen as he knows exactly how far to walk. Fortunately, Guma's movement's a little random, so if he steps forward too much, then he gets onto the screen like this. Now I'll have to be a little aggressive to shove him back off if he wants to. Alright. If Guma gets off the screen, then you can't hurt him, so Alan's got to bait him into walking back on a little bit, and then knock him back with the knockback from his weapon. Oh, Guma got real aggressive on Slamu and shoved him into the left wall. He was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Guma's just not being nice today. Also, that's a horrible palette color for shield on Slamu's side.
Oh yeah.
I could not use the random palette colors for my sprite and for shield. There's just too many bad ones depending on the sprite you use. You handpick every time.
Yeah, I
Cut him
think
down.
I think a lot of people in chat have heard this story before, but it took me like 6 months to realize that my randomizer was broken and I was never getting the shield spell. And one of the things that made me realize it, and I feel very stupid for it because it was very obvious, it was that I had the random color for the normal tunic and the shield tunic for the character, and it always showed me the same colors, and I never realized that wasn't working, and that yeah, it was really silly of me, but thankfully I got it fixed. I guess it was due to me testing the betas, the beta versions, and
yeah.
when I installed the version 4.0, it didn't install correctly for some reason, so I had to uninstall it and install it again, and that fixed it.
It's really interesting that there'd be an issue like that and not something else that's big enough for you to notice.
Yeah.
Slamu up aid to go find the palace over here. I wasn't paying attention to where Alan walked to get into this one. Looks like you might have just looped. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, sometimes telling a loop apart in these new palaces is really, really difficult.
Looks like they're in the same one. Yeah, the way he hesitated there, I think he isn't sure where the direction is that he missed. I think it's at the bottom of that elevator, because I saw Slamu went down there and there's a left and a right, and I think Alan went right. Oh, there's another elevator over here though. Maybe there's a couple options. I also have no idea if this is just a dead end that Alan's walking into. Nope. Yeah, someone in chat saying that Guma's mace does different damage from touching him. That's actually really big in the helmet head fight as well, because beams that helmet head shoots himself to do the most damage of anything in the fight. And if you touch him, or if you touch the beams that the helmets shoot, you'll take way less damage. So if you know you're going to get hit by something, you could try to jump into the beams from the helmets instead. Alan goes from attack 3 Guma to attack 3 Barba, so I've seen him do all these bosses at low attack before, but you don't necessarily want to in a race. Getting good Barba RNG though, always popping up next to him, though not the one he's crouching and camping. Looks like Slamu's stream is frozen. Hopefully it'll be back in a second. He's
Yeah, I just
with
had
Alan
to.
though.
I refreshed thinking the problem was on my end, but yeah, it appears to be on their end.
Alan hugs Barba, not the greatest idea. I like the Barba fight because it's one that you can get really aggressive on if you want to. You just have to be good about jumping over its fire breath. But sometimes when you're in a race and you're not sure if you're ahead or behind, you don't know if you want to be aggressive and take these risks or if you want to take it a little safer.
Yeah.
You know, in my race earlier, I was getting a little nervous and still trying to be aggressive and it wasn't working out.
Yeah, I tried to be a little bit conservative in this fight because it tends to be long.
Yeah.
And doing it twice is not a good idea.
You gotta watch out on that last hit too, because a lot of players, when they hit Barba the first time, they've got a lot of horizontal momentum. They fly right into them, and that hit will slow you down unless it's the last hit, in which case you're going in the lava as well. Slamu came back for a second. We see that they're on the Barba fight as well. Fortunately, the last two bosses both had extra HP, and they're at kind of low attack levels. Attack 4 isn't too bad for Barba, especially with downstab. I actually don't know if Alan has downstab yet. I don't think he had it.
Get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got it.
Oh yeah, I see he's using it now. Didn't look like he had it in P5. So, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, both players have downstab and upstab.
Ah. Yeah, jackhammer strats can really speed up the fight if you're at low attack. But you need the jump spell for it, essentially.
Yep. Unless you do the jumpless jackhammer, but especially with elevator rooms, it's pretty impossible.
Yeah, I learned how to do that for the Routing Royale tournament, but then this tournament happened, and now Barba's always in an elevator room. I don't know which hole it's going to pop out of.
Yeah.
Though I saw Zarnax practicing yesterday, and he walked into the room and mumbled something about how Barba's going to pop out the middle hole, so you must still be able to figure it out. I gotta practice that, I guess. That would still change the jumpless strat, though. It would change the timing that you want to
Yep.
jump at. Alright, they're both out of 6.
And I guess you'd have to learn different strategies for when the elevator goes, when the room is going down and the room is going up, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too too nice, but yeah.
Yeah, especially since you're probably only going to get to jump on her one time without jump. It's not entirely worth it. But it is faster if you do it. And do it correctly.
There will be some people that will probably learn it. So, Big Slamu in Dead Mountain, he finds his 7th magic container. Yeah, he was here to get the connector cave to the Eastern Continent.
I hate this room that Alan's in.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's kind of interesting in the sense that it is either glove or fairy blocked.
I guess there's that. I never thought about casting fairy through there. The high ceiling just annoys me because it slows you down a little bit when you're trying to do jump slashes. This is a real close race right now. Slamu's a little bit behind, but he still has some level advantage on Alan.
And the dash spell.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in this section at the end when you've got your high levels and you're running through places you've been before just to get to palaces. Dash is real nice to have. Oh, well, Slamu was in a swamp and now he's in the palace. Alright, we're gonna assume that means he's caught up now.
The good thing about having some stream issues in a close race is that maybe sometime when the screen comes back to life, he will probably in GP. He will probably be in GP.
You get a lead change. More lead changes is more excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Slamu's still up a magic and a life level, and Alan's finished this palace, so he's also going to place a gym and get another level on top of that. Yeah, it's cool to see new runners in these tournaments that are doing well because they've practiced and joined the weeklies and stuff. I remember there were a couple in the last one I joined.
Yeah, we got quite some beginners in this one. Yeah, I'm also very happy about that. And most of them are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I only recognize like 2 people per group, but I haven't been in I didn't join the last standard either. So I got 2 tournaments worth of new people to learn.
Yeah, some of them are speedrunners, but they speedrun other games, so they are already good at execution in some way, or they're very fast at learning.
I've been considering learning a Zelda 2 speedrun for about 3 or 4 years now. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, someday I will too get a sub 80 or something in all keys. So yeah, bosses are going down really fast for both players. So yeah, this will be a very exciting ending, I think.
Yeah, it looks like P4 was pretty short.
Now the problem for Big Slamon seems to be finding pauses, I think, at this point. Hopefully he knows where he's going.
Alan had to take a lava bath because he couldn't afford ferry after fighting the boss in here. I had a very high reflect cost in my seed today too. It's annoying. So I was holding on to my last bar of magic and game overed right before the boss, but it actually turned out there was a red jar in that room that I died in.
Oh,
Felt bad finding that later.
that sucks. Yeah, those are the times when you think this game has a mind of its own and likes trolling you on purpose.
Oh yeah, Slimer runs right into Karok here. Very short P4.
Yeah, he will have the same problem as TheAlanHeffley though. He will have to die somewhere to be able to place the gem.
Yeah. Yeah, Fairy's probably not that cheap at Magic 6. Is that right that one of them did 2 and one of them did 3? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Okay. Alan's found 3.
Yeah, and according to Trails, it was a really short one. Yeah, let's see how Lamu does on Palace 2. I don't remember if it was short or long.
Well, he up 8, so he must know where it is. Or maybe it's the one in the Caldera there.
Yeah, kind of looks like it. Maybe I haven't played this game enough, but I think this is the first time I see a caldera that you access from south to north. I always see them going from east to west or west to east.
Yeah, I know the canyons can be rotated 90 degrees as well to be horizontal.
Oh, maybe.
So it must be like that.
But I think canyons don't have calderas. The caldera is a biome of its own.
Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe the calderas also have that logic where they can be rotated 90 degrees.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think this is the first one I've seen as well. At my seed, that was the first rotated canyon that I'd seen. Though I knew it could happen because I saw Dig Jake with them in the development.
Yep. So yeah, both players in their last palace.
Moon Knight and 2 Doom Knockers. What a great room.
Yep.
All under a low ceiling.
And Big Slamo in the Countess' favorite room.
Yep. Alan grabs the trophy. Great. I don't know, he might actually grab it. They got a lot of magic to cast life with.
Ooh. And we got Big Slamo fighting his last boss before TheAlanHeffley.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, this is getting very interesting. And now the TheAlanHeffley finds the boss, and Big Slam is going to go for the magic container. So he's gonna buy some time for the TheAlanHeffley to fight the boss, and both of them are gonna enter GP really close to each other.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how committed he was to picking up that jar, or if he just ran in there while his XP was ticking up. Alan's got his gym placed. Big Slamu entering GP about 20 seconds before an hour. Alan's probably going to be about a minute behind. Very close entrance. Waffle room with fireballs from 3 different directions.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like 45 seconds of difference.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, there are rooms in Great Palace that can cost a person 45 seconds, so definitely very close. I do not know what that room was that Slamu saw at the top of Great Palace. That's a new one to me. He noped out of it. Probably just because it was going left. Theater room. So it looks like Slamu ended with 2 life levels and 1 attack level over Alan. The attack level is pretty much just going to matter for Thunderbird, because you don't fight a whole lot in Great Palace. You can kill these orange birds, but they die in 1 hit no matter what your attack level is.
Yep. So both players taking the same route.
Pretty standard in Great Palace just to go to the right, because all bosses in this game, you have to enter their rooms from the left. So if you walk to the right, you'll end up in the boss room. It's the way they're programmed in the original game. They just like don't load or something if you enter them from the right, if you like cheat to get in their room from the other side. And Digshake hasn't changed that in the randomizer.
Yeah, he has expressed intention of trying to do so, but not yet. He has to mess with the boss.
Yep.
Programming.
Oh, there's a Thunderbird.
Yep.
We've seen a couple of elevators too, so it's hard to say if it's going to be Darklink right away or if there's still a bit of Palace left after this. He's got plenty of magic for this fight. Thunderbird's HP wasn't too high. Wasn't paying much attention, but it might have been a little more than normal health. You can tell from its health bar because its health bar is based on the original HP. So if they start with they can be plus or minus 50% on their health. So if they're over 100%, then it'll take a few hits before their health bar starts going down. Or T-Bird could come out with 3 or 4 white bars and just instantly be spewing quick fire like this.
Okay, so both players in Thunderbird Big
Yep.
Slamu in his last hit. Oh, and he makes it.
Yep, so Thunderbird's the difference right now. Though Alan's Thunderbird's going to be a little slower with that lower attack level.
Yep.
I think all the attack levels in this game, if you don't randomize attack, give you like it's either 25 or 33% of a boost. Like 3 of the levels are weaker than the others, but I forget which levels those are. So it's going to take a few more hits for Alan to beat T-Bird. Slimu is just running toward Darklink. Just be using whatever resources he needs to, because you don't really need any magic to fight Darklink. Oh, and there's Darklink already. And he's got shield. It's probably GG, but we'll see in a second. He's got a life left, it pretty much assuredly is. But... So it's a very close race.
Yeah, and TheAlanHeffley also in beeping strats on the Thunderbird fight. Let's hope he makes it, because this is a very long fight.
Simon's got Darklink down.
Yeah, and GG's to Big Slamo, finishing on first place with a time of 1 hour, 4 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yep. Alan's got T-Bird down, so he probably about 2 minutes behind. T-Bird slowed him down a little bit because of the attack level difference. But couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 rooms to get to Darklink from here if they go the same direction. I didn't see if there were any forks in the road.
So we have Big Slamu here with us tonight. GG, man.
Thanks. After that start and then watching my stream go down like 4 times, I just thought I was done for. But apparently I came back, and I mean, I placed my 4th gem at 52 minutes and I finished 12 minutes later. And holy cow, TH is right behind me. I knew that had to be close.
Yeah, it was a very close race. I'm gonna blame Palace 3 for TheAlanHeffley. He spent quite some more time than what you did there. But aside from that, you guys were really close the whole race. You had different strategies. You got more levels than TheAlanHeffley. And yeah, you spent quite some time getting some levels. But you also got the dash spell. So yeah, I guess those things played in your favor. But I'm gonna blame Palace 3. I'm gonna ask TheAlanHeffley if he gets here about that. But yeah, GG's to TheAlanHeffley, who finishes in 2nd place with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes difference. That's real close.
Yep.
Yeah, I almost went. I had the trophy. I almost went and got the life spell, and I figured if I went and got it, I'd lose. And it's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan picked that up in Palace 3 too, and that was his last Palace, but he didn't go cash it in either.
Yeah, those last, what was it, even like 4 palaces, I felt like I was just casting dash in every room and just cruising as fast as I could.
Yeah, that was one of the differences between you, is he didn't have dash, and with your early levels it was more castable for you anyway, because you picked it up at like Magic 5 and he had Magic 3 at the time, so if he had it he wouldn't have been casting it.
Yeah, I didn't want to get those early levels, but I died. I mean, I game over probably 5 times early on, and I wasn't feeling the combat tonight, and I just figured.
Yeah.
I found the red Iron Knuckle, and at 200 XP, there's no reason not to grab 233 or 334 right there. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes you gotta adapt to how you're feeling that night. Really, for the most part, the two of you did pretty much the same overworld exploration and everything in the same order. The big difference, I think, was that you two flipped Palaces 2 and 3, but like besides that, everything was the same order. You both were fighting Guma at the same time, and after that it was kind of a mirror match until Palaces 2 and 3 came up again. And then you were 45 seconds apart entering Great Palace.
Yeah, that Guma game over also frustrated me. I game overed my my last tournament race too against Guma. I need some practice. I'm sure
Yeah.
Trails is sitting there in chat screaming at me to run the practice ROM.
My practice ROM is actually corrupt. I get into that fight and he's made of like Rebenak parts. I don't know what happened to that.
So yeah, in case you don't know, the TheAlanHeffley in chat is saying, I dicked around too much. Islamu deserved that one. So yeah, that's his message.
Yeah, I mean, for being relatively new at this, I mean, honestly, I had zero expectations coming into the brackets or coming into the group stages, and to pull off a couple of wins here, I mean, this with the bye puts me at 3-1, which I think puts me in. So I did not expect to make brackets, but I mean, I honestly have absolutely loved it. Z2 is without a doubt my favorite Nintendo game growing up. So to find the randomizer a couple months ago and really dive in, it's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to group stages.
Nice. So yeah, I hope you have a very long and exciting tournament ahead of you. And yeah, that's nice. I see that some people, yeah, they like this game, but they didn't know about the randomizer. So yeah, hopefully these tournaments get awareness for those Zelda 2 lovers. And yeah, the randomizer is a blast.
Definitely. Alan just reminded me though that we could have a 3-way tie here if he beats RCS. I think we have a 3-way tie at 3-1. So I don't know how that works, but it'll be fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking at the challenge. It looks like Chromatoclism is the only other person with 3 wins so far, so you're the only 2 guaranteed to be in there. But we're 2 weeks into group stage and we're already filling up the bracket. Cool to see that people are eager to get their matches out of the way.
Yeah, I know I have TWR tourney starting next week, so I wanted to get these all knocked out, and I thought I'd be done with this by now, but it sounds like I've got some more finagling to do next week. So
yeah, well, you got 2 weeks to put off your practice and de-rest, so
maybe kill Guma without dying once.
yeah.
It was interesting to see you do Guma with the dash spell.
Yeah, I tried just about everything there. I used to do dash and shield, and in reality I just need to learn the right way. But I used to like dash. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword using dash at that fight. But it's interesting. If you master it, it could be really interesting, and it could make the fight faster, I think. Yeah, because you can be hitting Guma more often with the dash spell.
I haven't been casting it on bosses, but I've been really hooked on the dash spell. That's the one thing that stands out to me in 4.0 that I like.
Yeah, I think. I mean, with
telling us in chat that he avoids it like the plush. So yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, honestly, that was probably minutes worth of dash time save in those last 4 palaces for me. So
yeah,
I mean that's probably a big part of the difference. I mean, it's in the toolkit. I got to use it.
Yeah, well, you get dash, you get down stab, you run into a room, jump once, pogo off an enemy, and you're on the other side of the room. Free room. That's how I see it. I've had commentators commentating a lot on me using dash through Great Palace rooms, just full of bird knights and stuff, but I only get hit once because then I'm instantly on the other side of the room. Fly over the whole thing like it's Fire Fairy. I
also abuse of it because I have a tendency of face fucking this game. So yeah, that's the perfect spell for face fuckers.
That sounds like the approach I take to most speed games. I can't do challenge runs where I die in 1 hit. I gotta have health in my pool.
Well, I'm not really sure I can come in and say anything much better than that, Victor. But wanted to say thank you to our wonderful commentators, Victor Santa Fe, as well as the Countess. Big thanks for Big Shamu as well as Alan for agreeing to race for us today. It was super close, super fun, and this is kind of my first time really seeing these flags, so it's quite interesting and almost like a completely new Z2R, so it was really, really fun. And just wondering if we had any closing remarks from our runner or our commentators.
No, just thank you guys again so much for putting on a restream, and Ellen, thanks for a great race. Good luck to you against RCS. Hope for the best.
Yeah, and I just want to give a huge shout out to Jinxie Girl for doing the restream and tracking for us, and of course to the Countess for helping me making this a little bit more entertaining.
So I was already on the voice channel, so.
Oh yeah, I was the one that joined. But yeah, hope we get some more Z2R action this week, and hope I can make a part of it, although this week will be a little bit busy for me. But yeah.
Hope, you and me actually got a race at some point, but we got a couple weeks still.
Yeah, let's see. I'd prefer to do it next week, because this week I have something big coming up, so I need to.
That's fine with me. I'm trying to spread mine out anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching too. Thank you for chat being there and helping us keep track of these very exciting races. And yeah, I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
See you.